Yeah. Hey, hi everyone. Good evening. I'm Hannie. My friend Jerry's with me, and
Hi.
this is the first night of election 2025 Kitsap County, filing week watch. Back when I used to, they didn't really do a lot of this online, so I used to actually hang out at the auditor's office with the new reporter from Port Orchard Independent, and I'd actually watch the candidates come in and go out. It's how I met Greg Wheeler when he originally filed for office. It was an amazing time, but now that all of that's online, a lot of people choose to file online, and sometimes candidates do actually go into the auditor's office and, file and then take pictures and show them, signing up to file for office on their like social media or on their website. Kind of, I guess, to really get everybody excited about let's remember to vote. Primary being in August and the general election being in November. So with that, I'm Hanny, former chair of the Kitsap County Democrats, former vice chair of the 26th District Democrats, longtime precinct committee officer in the 26th Legislative District. I still live here. Yay 26th. And I'm going to turn it over to Jerry now that I've talked to you to death so that Jerry can tell you a little more about him. Jerry, take it away.
Thanks, Hanny, and thank you for inviting me to be here. Yeah, I'm Jerry Hebert. I have been a long-time Democrat. In fact, my first Democrat adventure, as many know, was with our campaign for President John F. Kennedy when I was just a kid. So, been around a long time and have seen a lot, done a lot. Right now, I'm serving as the Kitsap County's 23rd Legislative District Secretary and on the executive board. As an at-large member. In the past, I've been the Washington State representative for the Human Rights Campaign. I've been on the board for the Kitsap Human Rights Network a long time ago. Uh, I've worked with the Bill Clinton campaign on the hate crimes bill lobbying in Washington, D.C. And most recently, I've been the I've been the director for the Circa 2025 nonprofit. And now I'm working with our 23rd to help get out not just the vote, but get out the party, get out the people, get out those of us that are interested and haven't been involved. It's not about the party, folks. It's really not about the party. It's about the issues.
Right.
It's about the form. It's about due process. So now we're looking to, I mean, my perspective is we need to look for individuals that have new ideas, fresh, sparkling ideas that work within the framework of our democracy. And respect needs to always be used at every level of government, including right here with our own precinct committee officers. So that's what I'm looking for. Off to you.
All right.
Hit
Hey,
me, Hanny.
thank
My
you.
ears are falling out.
Oh my gosh. It's spring in Kitsap County, and who can tell you that more than me at this point? Anyway, so as you know, today is the first day of filing week for election 2025. We ended up with day one, 42 offices have somebody has filed for that, and 51 candidates have filed for office. So part of tonight is we're going to go through day one's people, and if we know somebody, because Jerry and I are both Democrats, we are longtime community people. We've always been out and about mingling with our fellow Kitsap County citizens. So we might have met one or two people in that time frame. Who knows? But I'm so glad you tuned in. And let's start with some important dates. So, as I said, filing week starts today. It's May 5th through May 9th. There's 5 days that should you want to file for elective office, you're certainly welcome to do so. If you are in Kitsap County and you're interested in seeing everything I'm talking about, please visit KC as in cat, OW as in wood, A as in apple, .us/elections, and that's plural, elections, and you'll be able to get all sorts of information about voting here in Kitsap County. So, anyway,
Annie,
um,
Annie, let me
yeah,
ask you a question.
sure.
While we're in the middle of this, the filing week is all week long. So, what is the strategy for filing? I mean, is it best to file early or is it best to file late? What's the trend for that? I mean, what's the advantage or disadvantage? Why such a long filing period or such a short one?
Right. Yeah. That's really a good question. And so my answer to that is, some people think it's advantageous to file first thing so that you obviously know, hey, yay, Senator Deb. I'm just using an example, but regardless, yay, Senator Deb is filed. I know that I can pledge my support behind my favorite candidate. I see that they've filed. Other candidates I know tend to wait and see who goes ahead of them so they know what kind of competition, or will I have multiple people running against me, that kind of thing. I think one of the most interesting things that have happened in recent time here in the 26th legislative district is that for Jan Angel's last run for state senate,
I remember that.
she waited until literally like Friday afternoon for something to say, oh yeah, hey, I don't think I'm going to run after all. And so that was very interesting how that panned out. But yeah, I mean, some candidates, it just really depends on the candidate themselves and how they choose to run their campaign. And one person that we're all looking for this week would be Jesse Young, because who knows if Jesse's going to run or not, but we're all waiting to see. So that would be someone that I would think would try to wait until the very last minute if we're talking about a candidate this year. So yeah, that's just a strategy thing, and it depends from one candidate to the next.
It's be interesting to see how everything falls out this week.
Definitely. Absolutely. I am so sorry. I sound so awful. We have the window open, and I've always had issues with cottonwood. And of course, it's rearing its ugly head at the most opportune moment. So, thank you everybody for your patience while I choked to death. Um, One other thing I want to make mention of before we go into our list this evening is May 12th is the last day for any candidate to withdraw. And May 13th is a very important date if you are indeed running for elective office. That is the date that your candidate statement is due to the auditor's office. One thing that I always try to recommend to people, um, especially when I was chair of Kitsap County Democrats, is that you really want to make sure to have a good, solid candidate statement. You always want to make sure to have 2, 3, 4 sets of eyes look that over and make sure that it flows and is, grammatically correct and words are spelled correctly. It's just something really helpful, and a lot of voters rely on the voter's pamphlet and what you say as to if they are going to cast a vote for you or not. So, just a word of information for me on that. Jerry, you
And you
have
know,
anything
Hattie,
else to
on
add
that
before we
same,
go to our list?
on that same point, if you're writing your statement, don't use AI without editing it because a lot of us are really familiar with the writing styles of artificial intelligence, and we'll pick up on that pretty quickly. So I'd make sure that if you want to use AI, I run it through for a draft, but then I edit away.
Right. Definitely. That's a great point. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So I'm going to see if I can get to my window with um, the
Onto the list.
list. And this year, tell us about, this year as far as what kind of candidates races we have going on, if you could, real quick.
I'm not I'm not familiar with the South End races, or do you
Right.
mean in general? We've got school boards, junior taxing districts, which include fires districts,
Right.
include harbors. We've got quite a few here in the North End that are open seats. We've got, I believe that also includes the fire districts, the taxing districts that include parks, it includes utility districts, it
Right.
includes city council seats, it includes mayors, it includes, a variety of the things that really affect us day to day, every day.
Right.
So it's the stuff that hits more at home. And I think it was you, Johanna, or somebody that put me on to finding out why we split between every 2 years instead of every 4 years. And that it was Paul that was mentioning this. Our uh, voter information, our voter data,
Yeah.
yeah, provided us with the information that it's wiser to get that at home close stuff separate so that people are concentrating on the effects of those rather than worrying about the president's race and the national races. So I
Right.
think there was some logic in it after all, because I spent a lot more time paying attention to stuff I had no idea it even cared about it. So I had no idea what the PUD actually did here in Paulsbo. It's
Right.
like, I'm on a well. What do I know?
Right. Oh my gosh. So yeah, there are so many important local races this year that really affect how our local government is run and how certain utilities are run. And we do have a legislative race. This would be in Legislative District 70 or 76. Hello. No, it's actually 26. I live here. Wow, that was fun. Anyway, this is the seat that was vacancy appointment because Emily Randall is now in Congress. So far today, we have Deb Krishna Dawson. She is the current incumbent from the vacancy appointment. And then we also have Michelle Calder has filed. She is a Republican, currently in Gig Harbor, a longtime state representative here in Legislative District 26. And so then we move on to the city of Bainbridge Island. We have Council District 3 South Ward, Don Janau. I'm probably going to mispronounce everybody's name a million of times over, and I sincerely apologize for that right now. It was something I couldn't even master as chair. Many humorous stories about my mispronouncing names, so please bear with me, and if I don't get it right, call me, find me, let me know, and thank you. Um, Onward, the Council District 3 South Ward, another candidate, Sarah M. Blossom. And then in Council District 5 Central Ward, we have Clarence Morowaki. He has previously been endorsed by not only the Kitsap County Democrats, but the 23rd District Democrats as well. Additionally, the Kitsap County Democratic Women have previously endorsed him. He has been a long-time Democrat here in Kitsap County, and he's doing incredible things for the city of Bainbridge Island. So, good luck, Clarence. Good luck to all of our candidates. So, far. The
I do
next,
I do want to share something about
yes,
Clarence, though, that's kind of from my heart.
okay,
Clarence, I've known since I was young. Yesterday, he he truly has a heart dedicated to his community. I have met many, many, many dedicated people that work hard to make things happen.
right,
Um, Clarence is one of those guys that not only makes it happen, you see the results. The Japanese memorial that he graciously invited me to represent the governor when I was a human rights commissioner at its grand opening.
right.
Uh, it was truly the culmination of understanding a really significant part of our history and making the rest of the community equally as aware of it. And just one example of hundreds I could share with you of
Yeah.
that man's true commitment to community. It's really great to have that kind of person.
All right. Hey, thanks for sharing that. Next up, we have Council District 5 Central Ward, Peter Rappa. And then Council District 7 North Ward, Joe Dietz. And Joe Dietz has also been previously endorsed by not only the Kitsap County Democrats, but the 23rd District Democrats as well, and the Kitsap County Democratic Women. Um, he is the incumbent, and good luck to him. We're moving on to
Joe's a
Bremerton.
great guy too.
Moving on to Bremerton. Did you have anything to add about Joe Dietz before we go?
Joe Joe is it's a ditto between for him and Clarence.
Right.
Same feelings for him. Great
Yeah.
community man.
All right. So today, filing for the city of Bremerton for the mayor position, we have Greg Wheeler, who is a Kitsap County Democrat. You know the drill. And we have Jeff Coughlin also running for mayor. Again, been endorsed for by all of us. And so that's definitely a race that I am very interested in watching, as well as I
I'm glad
imagine anybody else in the county of Kitsap. Go
I'm
ahead,
glad
Jerry.
I don't have to live in Bremerton to make that decision. Let me tell you,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
both are accomplished candidates. Both have a
Mm-hmm.
long history of accomplishments and dedication. It's going to be a
Exactly.
tough challenge there.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing race. Something that I like to mention to people when we're talking about candidates, elections, how do I find out more about these people, Hanny? There's a couple
Huh.
of different things that go on. We have green drinks throughout the county, and many of our candidates go to that event. Many of our candidates go to, well, I know for us, drinking liberally. Um, I don't know what the Republican equivalent is. I'm sorry, they don't let me in on that. Let's see. There are so many different things. League of Women Voters has voter forums. Other organizations also have forums and such. I know that
And of course,
the Port Arthur Chamber has a luncheon during the summer, and they often have candidates speaking. Do you know anything about up in the North End, Jerry?
I know we're planning on doing exactly that, a forum for our candidates to be able to do presentations to our membership.
Right,
And of course, we'll be doing a regular endorsement process
right.
to select our candidates. We're going to work hand in hand with our county comrades and hopefully come out with one of the best. I think we've got some interesting things about to happen in that arena too. It's going to
Yeah,
be an interesting time for us.
right, definitely. Yeah, so, both parties do endorse candidates. There's a whole endorsement process. Typically, endorsements start around end of May, June, July, and then the primary election starts would be in August. But if you're interested in attending a meeting, for your specific party, you can do so by visiting, if you're a Democrat, kitsapdemocrats.org. And I believe the Republican site is kitsaprepublicans.com. So pick a party, pick your favorite party, preferably. Come join us, and we will be doing endorsements and hearing from candidates soon. All right, so next is the City of Bremerton Council District 1. Jennifer Chamberlain has filed, Jennifer from Heathen's Bakery. She's also been a longtime Democrat. She's been on our executive board in the past. She's been a longtime volunteer throughout the community. I'm really excited to see Jen running again. Jerry?
Yeah, I am. Same here. I'm very glad. I've only had the opportunity to meet her a couple of times,
Right.
but even in those passings, she's really impressive. I enjoy her.
Right. Council District 3, we have a couple of candidates. First one being Christy Camarada. I've not met her yet, but I'm sure I will find out more about her soon. The next candidate would be Ash Black, who does it's not a podcast, but it's a video show where he interviews different people. I think it's on BCAT, it may be on YouTube as well. I am really excited to hear from him. Council District 5, Michael Goodnow, he is the current incumbent. Council District 7, we have Rick Tift. He ran previously for Kitsap PUD Commissioner. Um, Next contestant for District 7 would be Matthew Baptiste Serra. I've known him a few years, so I'm excited to see what Matthew's going to bring on the campaign trail. Next up is the City of Bremerton Municipal Court Judge. Steve King has filed for this position. And then we're to the City of Port Orchard. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to add before we go to Port Orchard, Jerry?
No, just that I did want to say something about Michael Goodnow, though. He's drawn some controversy on the city council from various places, but I've never met a man more convicted to his or more committed to his convictions, not convicted to his commissions.
Yeah. Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he's going to shoot me if he hears that, I'm sure.
Right, right.
But Michael has really been so community spirited and centered on what's best for the city, and has been a dynamic leader in our community. Um, Controversies that have been around him, he stood and been straightforward and forthwith, and I've just been very proud to have him representing my community as well. So I'm glad to see him hanging in there and still running.
All right. Thank you. So, with the City of Port Orchard, we have multiple council positions up. Position 2 so far, John Morrissey has filed. He's current
Mhm.
incumbent. Position 3, Scott Diener has filed. He is also an incumbent. Council position 6, Fred Chang. Fred is also an incumbent, has been endorsed by the Kitsap County Democrats as well as the 26th District Democrats and the Kitsap County Democratic Women many times, as has Jay Rosa Pepe for the Council at Large position. And we have another contestant running for the council at large position, Kimberly Shaw. And I'm excited to hear from her. And then for the city of Paulsbo, we have Dan Whedon and we have Ed Stern running. And Ed, as council member in Paulsbo, has been endorsed by Kitsap County Democrats, 23rd District Democrats, Kitsap County Democratic Women, many times over. He's been a long time fixture in Paulsbo. If you haven't had a chance to see his signs, they're incredible. Go take a trip to Paulsbo, not only for all the wonderful things there, but go catch up with an Ed Stern sign. Jerry, you have anything to add?
Oh, who? I think I'm having a bro crush on Ed. His as as deputy mayor, we were at a recent event where he got to speak about some of his accomplishments, and truly to have someone as a city councilman take on some of the huge issues he's managed to take on, and to serve as well as he has, and still be as friendly and open despite dealing with the public. You know, in today's day and age, being an elected official, especially at the local level, can be challenging. But he keeps a positive attitude, a smile on his face, and he gets the job done. I'm very proud that he's a Democrat.
Yeah. It was nice to see him this past weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah. We attended the town hall for State Representative Greg Nance, and Ed was at one of those, and it was great to see him. So,
yeah, it
all
was.
right. So, next up, City of Paulsbo, Council Position 5, Michael Fitzpatrick. Council Position 6, Doug Tabor. And then Council Position 7, Gary McVeigh. And Gary McVeigh has been previously endorsed by Kitsap County Democrats. You know the drill. I met Gary perhaps the first year I was running as chair. He got up and spoke to our crowd. He had a lot of ambition, a lot of goals for the city of Paulsbo. It's great to see that he's still there and accomplishing those things. So, yay, excited for Gary. You have anything
Ditto.
to add before we run off to Bremerton and Bainbridge Island?
I know that we've got enough candidates that are really high quality that's going to keep us all busy this season. So I I'm glad once again I don't have to vote for the city of Paulsbo either. So I live outside that district. I wouldn't have to make those decisions, but I'm glad I don't because they're tough ones to have to make. What do you call it? Uh, an abundance of riches?
Right, yeah, something like that. Oh my gosh. All right. So, we are to Bremerton School District. And looks like Director Position 5, Ben Anderson. I am not familiar with him. So, again, I'm very excited for upcoming candidate forums and eggs and issues through the Bremerton Chamber, or it's not the Bremerton Chamber anymore, it's the Greater Kitsap Chamber, and those are usually starting at around, I want to say, 8 o'clock a.m. Tuesday
Mhm.
mornings, closer to election time. Stay tuned with the chamber on that. And it's at the Cloverleaf Sports Bar and Grill, 1240 Hollow Street in East Bremerton. Anyway, uh, carrying on, Bremerton or Bainbridge Island School District. Director District 2, Erica Borg. Director District 5, Jill Anderson. North Kitsap School District, Director District 1, Seth Hartman. Another candidate in District 1, Denise Tracy. That's not for North Kitsap. That's for Central Kitsap. My apologies. So Denise Tracy is running for District 1 Director, Central Kitsap School District. And then in District 5, Eric Green is running for that seat, and I believe he's the incumbent. In South Kitsap, Director District 3, Brian Pickard is running. Um, my daughter's going to die of embarrassment, but here we go. Brian was my daughter's principal when we came back home after Hurricane Katrina. Principal at South Colby Elementary School. He ensured that our family had whatever access to whatever resources we might need to get back on our feet. Got Manda into school. What an amazing person. I'm just really excited that he has been part of the South Kitsap School Board, and it's good to see that he is running yet again. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Jerry? I know you've met him before too.
Yep, sure have.
Yeah.
Nothing, you've got it covered.
Alrighty, one moment. Um, Next is the Bainbridge Island Fire Department Commissioner position 2, Bruce G. Allward. And then for Commissioner position 4, Fritz Spawn Ibish. I
I'm
no, I think I'm gonna just let that go. Uh, But Central Kitsap Fire and Rescue Commissioner position 4, David Fergus. And then for the Kitsap County Fire Protection District number 15, we have a candidate in position running for position 2, William Bill Whiteley, and then for position 5, Daryl Milton, and then for North Kitsap Fire and Rescue, Commissioner position 2, Patrick Pearson, Commissioner position 3, Chelsea Tate, and then for South Kitsap Fire and Rescue, we have for Commissioner District or Position 2, Terry Lerma. And then for Position 5, Chad Stanley. And then another contestant for Position 5 is Paul Golnick. And we're on to Port Districts.
Before we move on from fire commissioners, though,
Yeah.
I want to just plug that these are really important positions. And anyone who's been driving around Kitsap can see the amount of money that we are putting into building new fire stations and upgrading the ones we have. And it's an incredibly important part of our community because these are the commissions that make the decisions on how the money is going to be spent, where, what, etc. So I'm telling you, they've got big responsibilities.
Exactly. And even here in South Kitsap, out where I live, the Yukon Harbor Fire Station that is older than me, and I was born a while ago. But the fire station is older than me. We have a new fire station that's the land is procured, getting ready to build that new station. And of course, it's got to be big enough to handle the amount of housing that has been built here since uh, when was that fire station built? I want to say 1965, 66. Along with other things like, we've got to be able to support electric vehicles if they catch on fire and other things that you wouldn't have thought would be a thing back in 1960 something. So, yeah, definitely. It is always worth your while to check out and see what positions like fire commissioners and port commissioners. We're going to be getting down to water districts too. Um, yeah, it's important if you have the time to get to know what these positions are and who the candidates are and what their hopes, dreams, and aspirations are. So, with that, we are with Port of Kingston, District Number 9, Commissioner District 1, Steve Heacock. And then Port of Manchester, Commissioner Position 2, Paul Bratz. Port of Paulsbo, Commissioner Position 1, Jeff File. West Sound Utility District Number 1, Commissioner Position 1, James J. Hart. Manchester Water District Number 11, Commissioner Position 1, Robert Ballard. Robert Ballard is a longtime Manchester resident. I want to say that he has a real estate company in downtown Manchester, close to Pomeroy Park, or he did when I was a kid. He's been there a while, so good to see him. Oh yeah, his email address is his real estate company in downtown Manchester. So yeah, North Perry Water District Commissioner District 1, Stephanie Marone. And then we're into Bainbridge Island Metropolitan Park and Recreation Commissioner Position 3, John T. Tom Swolgard. And then the Village Green Metropolitan Park District Commissioner Position 5, David Trailer. And so that concludes our list for tonight. So thank you, of course, for tuning in. And we are offline, Jerry. Oh my God. Wow.
You know, what we need to do
What?
is talk about what kinds of skills each one of these junior taxing districts require, what kinds of things they do, and then how does a voter decide? I mean, for example, where do you get the information on whether the person that we're electing to the Parks Commission has a family with children?
Right.
You know, where do we find the Parks Commission or the port commissioners? How many of them have anything with aqua engineering and understanding how the port is maintained environmentally?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get the qualifications for our fire district to say that somebody that understands the EMT piece of it and exactly what it takes to be a fireman?
Right.
I mean, those are the kinds of questions I think voters need to be focused on when they vote for these, is the
Right.
qualifications, not necessarily anything else. And I think it would be doing us a good deed to emphasize that and then point out the Democrats.
Right. Hey, guess what? We are still online. I looked at the wrong screen. I am so proud of myself.
We
Hopefully
don't
by
have
the
to do it
end,
again then.
right. Well, hopefully by the end of this week, I will better have my crap together. But just to give you history on us and live streaming, back during COVID times when we had vacancy appointments, um, I was really worried about how not only our voting precinct committee officers, but members of the community would be able to see our interviews and get a feel for, what our candidates were about. And so we actually ended up trying to live stream some of it. Some of it was more successful than others. Some of it I actually had to upload after we did it. But it was great to be able to provide that opportunity, even though we were all on COVID lockdown, so that all of us could see the candidates that came before us for vacancy appointments for, I think it was the clerk, the sheriff, yeah, and
Mhm.
then for next year's round, let's see, we had county commissioner, we had a state representative, we had a state senator. I vacancy appointments are so fun.
Hey, we never have to go through that again in our lifetime.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I've been a resident here for over 40 years, and I have never known us to have to do more than one. I think we've done maybe three appointments, position appointments in the time I've been here until
Right.
you became mayor, and then all of a sudden we had an
Exactly.
abundance.
Yeah, heck of a thing like that. So, anyway, what time do you think we should start this show tomorrow night?
When the office closes,
All
we don't
right.
want to. We want to give everybody a fair opportunity, and I think what tomorrow, let's still go through as we go through it. Let's talk about exactly what the skills are that we believe are necessary for each one of those jobs.
That would be fantastic. So, all of you who've managed to live through tonight's episode, join us tomorrow night around 5:30 local Hanny and Jerry time, and we'll be here to discuss the latest people to run for something and all the things that Jerry mentioned. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening. If you have questions that you want to throw at us, be sure to drop those to Hannie, HANNIE, at Joe's Diner, all one word, .com. Put election 2025 in the subject line. Write your question in the body of the text. Yeah, you know the drill. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Anything else from you, Jerry?
Absolutely not. But You get hold of me the same way. Send it to Hanny. She'll get it to us.
Alrighty. Hey, have a great evening, y'all, and see you tomorrow night. Bye.
Bye.
All right.